Well, hello there. How is everyone? I hope you're all well on this fabulous, fabulous Saturday. I'll tell you what, since I've been on holiday, I am very, very good at knowing what day of the week it is. It's only took me 43 years, but I think I'm finally sorted. Anyway, you're looking amazing, and I hope you have an amazing weekend too. But before I let you get off and do your weekend thing, let's get straight into the meat and potatoes. As today we're talking about Nicola Bulley. The reason I'm talking about Nicola Bulley is because Eddie's Vinyl Break EVB. Now, Eddie, here's another channel. There is a link in the description of this video, and you know the drill. I'm important at the moment, but after you've watched this video, if you're interested in the Nicola Bulley case whatsoever, then you need to go and check out his video. Because I don't think there's been any creator who has put so much effort into the intricacies of the Nicola Bulley case, looking at absolutely everything and being as fair as possible. I'm not going to ruin it for you. It'd be like me telling you how and what happens in a film and then trying to get you to go and watch it. So go and check it out after. I don't know what this camera's doing, by the way. Keeps coming up with a box on the screen. Weird thing. But anyway, yes. So look, they ruled, I'll show you. For those of you who don't, you must all know. Surely you all know. But look, it was ruled that Nicola Bulley died accidentally after falling into cold water. Saying that she got cold water shock. So she's entered the water, she's shocked, she's panicked, she has took in a load of water and drowned. And look, I ain't buying that. I do apologise, but I ain't buying it. I'm not saying that it's completely unheard of and there's no way that this could happen. I just can't see it myself. I just can't see how somebody who had taken this walk religiously every day, it was just something that they did. It was, it was like muscle memory. It's walking there every day and being familiar. It wasn't a strange area. It wasn't somewhere new. It wasn't something that could take you unawares or she was completely familiar with this walk. It was just something that was constantly done. And we're trying to say that on this morning, which just happened to be a few weeks after she had authorities called out for a wellness check, that she just happened to enter this water. Now, I was an advocate for the fact that I felt that Nicola Bulley had potentially entered the water herself. And do you know what I mean? I still, in my heart of hearts, believe that over a simple accident. Because what I'd like to know is, so what caused the accident? So what are we saying then? The dog went in the water that was bone dry, by the way, but the dog went in the water and she went towards the water to get the dog out, or the dog went towards the edge of the water and rather than call the dog away from the edge of the water, she chased the dog and slipped. What was she doing by the edge of the water to slip in? I don't understand what would put an adult, not a child, an adult in a situation where they can be in an area they're completely familiar with and they can end up falling into the weir. And that's not where the issues start and end. That's not everything, because what they've had to do is, obviously, in order to try and support this theory that she went in the water, she suffered from cold water shock, they had done numerous tests. They had shown how the body, because it was found over the weir, how it would have floated and gone down and gone over the weir. And that is false. That's not actually how it would have happened at all, because it's been scientifically proven that in the event of such an incident, she would have taken on water quite rapidly, she would have sunk, and it wouldn't have been possible for her to have floated over the weir. And look, I'm sure that's going to be an argumentative situation. That some people are going to say it is possible, some people it's not. Some people are going to say, well, how the hell did she get over there then? What you're pointing towards, who you're pointing towards. I'm not pointing towards anybody because I genuinely don't know what happened. Well, what I am genuinely sure of is that I personally have not been convinced that this could have just simply been an accident. Now, if Nicola was a child, then I could have potentially believed that there was an accident situation. But when we're talking about an adult who is completely familiar with this area and walked it most days, if not every day, I'm not buying that on this morning, she had an accident and fell in. And my argument here is, how can you rule out someone pushing her in? How can that be ruled out? She could have got into an altercation and someone could have shoved her and she could have entered that water and then suffered from cold water shock, so on and so forth. It makes more sense to me that someone pushed her in than she fell in. I don't know what you guys, if any of you guys have followed this. Again, I would certainly say go over and listen to the likes of Eddie. He goes through everything, absolutely everything, regarding, the dog collars and the people around Nicola and things that were said, things that were done. And again, I don't want to spoil it. And again, I'm not saying that I 100% agree with everything that Eddie says. I think the only thing that I think me and Eddie agree on is the fact that this accident situation, I don't think either of us can buy it. Now, with regards to Nicola's mental health state, that to me is a massive thing, and that's what's always pushed me in the direction that she entered the water herself. Now, Nicola was a strong swimmer, she was fit, she was capable, and for me, the fact that the phone had been left on the bench, almost like a decoy, the dog had not been tied up and left free. I said this previously, and I felt that if Nicola had left a phone on the bench and should have left the dog tethered, it could have promoted a scenario where people may have felt that there was someone close to the dog and the dog would not have been checked on, because people's automatic thoughts would have been, oh, the dog's tethered, there's a phone there, so its owner's going to be around there somewhere. But the fact the dog was left free, but the phone was on the bench, to me, again, it's almost like a scenario where she's set the phone as a decoy to make it look like she is still there, she's still on the phone. Could be completely wrong, because obviously the phone being on the bench still promotes perhaps being in a situation that she's very, very quickly had to get up and go. Perhaps she thought that the dog had fallen in the water, something, do you know what I mean? I get that, and I know that's going to be the argument, but for me, I just don't see how an adult could have put themselves in a position where they fell in the water. I genuinely can't, and I'd like to hear your thoughts and feelings surrounding this case, and whether you think that conclusion was the right conclusion. Was this simply an accident? And if it was an accident, again, I want you to tell me how you can 100% rule out that she got into an altercation and someone has shoved her backwards and she's gone in the water. That to me is more of a potential than an accident. Do I believe that she could have put herself in the water? Yes, I do. I think the mental health issues and the fact that she was deemed as high risk, and now they're trying to backpedal on that and, saying that there was no real reason to suggest that she was suicidal. But then what's high risk? You're completely doing a 180. Well, on one hand, you're saying she's a high risk, we need to check in, yada, yada, yada. And then after this is all said and done, it's like, yeah, we're putting it down as an accident because she wasn't, we can't say that she was suicidal at all. And people do, sadly, take their own lives by entering into water. It does happen, and when it does, it is generally people who are older, not younger, too. And it can certainly be done. It can certainly be done, especially if they don't want to do it in their home and be found by their children. So it can't be ruled out. certainly cannot be ruled out. And accident for me, I ain't buying it. Let me know down below, and go and check out Eddie, and let me know what you think of Eddie's work. And I'll see you all in the next one.